Hello, everyone, and I would like you to welcome to our new episode of the Fintech Garden Harvest News. And my name is Igor Tomic. I'm CEO and founder of Dash Devs.
Hello, everyone, and I'm Dumitru Kondra, Igor's co-host, CEO and founder of NovaFin. And both of us, welcome you to the first episode of Fintech Garden Weekly Harvest Review in 2026. Hello, Igor. How are you?
I'm great, and we already into the second working week of the year. The first one was really slowed down, but the second is bringing really diverse news to us. And today we're going to review three news worldwide and globally. Some of them coming from United States, some of them coming from Europe. But anyway, please stay till the end and learn what has been happening worldwide in fintech industry. So the first one, and I would say it's a pretty interesting one. It's connected to Apple and the replacement of the Goldman Sachs for the card issuing. I think everyone nowadays acknowledge that Apple Pay did a tremendous change in the way how we operate and we're paying globally because it doesn't matter where you travel. Usually you have terminals available and you can do tap to pay. And Apple educated people to use their tokenized card. And the news that we bring in this week that actually JPMorgan is going to replace Goldman Sachs because Goldman Sachs was having quite big losses from this cooperation from Apple. And the news is that JPMorgan is jumping in as a replacement. And worth to mention that actually the MasterCard is going to be the card network that Apple is using for issuing own cards. So it's pretty exciting and gives a lot of thought food. So what do you think about that, Dumitru?
First of all, we have to point out the fact that this is just, at this moment, currently, it's just a business deal and a business agreement, but it's a subject for regulatory and compliance review. So that's not a truly 100% deal that will happen. That the current stage was just show that both three sides of this deal are ready to do this step: Apple, JPMorgan, and Goldman Sachs, and MasterCard also, obviously. This is a very important step for Apple to rethink the strategy, because when you're doing compliance or regulatory review for this specific deal, you also have to provide some additional information about the view, vision, what you'll do next, what the steps are, some kind of a business plan, but in a different way. So it's very important for Apple to be prepared for this. It means that possibly exists a backup plan for Apple. They know they possibly preparing something new on the market or some expansion. MasterCard is also a very good signal for this, because if with MasterCard they will be able to extrapolate their services worldwide. We know that Apple has some issues with European Union on this topic, but possibly it will be solved. So it's an interesting step, but I mostly think it's just a reshaping of the business. It's not simple vendor changing, but it's a reshaping of a business, reshaping of a strategy. And it seems like all the news that we'll have today are about a reshaping of the market in future.
Yeah, that's true. And I would like to add that maybe European customers, they don't know the whole functionality and how it functions in iOS. So basically, through the operating system, you are able to apply for credit card. And then it actually gives really nice functionality for tracking the budgets. So it's really great example of embedded banking, which we're discussing a lot in our full scale episodes and overall the fintech approach. And as Dumitru, you rightly said, that is strategic movement. So companies with this size, they usually winning on several levels, a strategical one, because JP Morgan is definitely the rails for global expansion, which is not pushed so far because most of the customers base is in United States, but also his ability potentially to extend the functionality, because it's pretty limited to the wallet and budget tracking, which is good, but maybe we will see additional extensions and maybe even penetration to other platforms, which is really great. So let's focus and let's see what are the upcoming changes in this area for this year.
The changes by sure will be tremendous, and I'm using this word specifically because one of the next news about this is that Trump's family venture, crypto venture called World Liberty, is requesting a banking license. And it can be a future market reshaper in the United States. I'm more than sure they'll receive this banking license. So by sure they want to attract investments from other sides of financial market using a banking license. I'm more than sure that they'll receive this license also because exists some kind of a political context, which all of us, we understand it perfectly. And seems like Trump's family made this step. This step is not an accident, it's not a coincidence. It's a very long journey, step-by-step planned much time before. And in the moment they will receive this banking license, which will be not so quickly, but in the moment they will receive this banking license, it will allow them to do much more operations. It will allow them to work on absolutely totally different level on financial market in the United States and worldwide. And who knows what kind of a crypto shifts will happen on the market, because unfortunately sometimes some initiatives can appear very unexpected and very in the same way unexpected, just to disappear or just to be dropped down.
And I cannot agree more. And I would like to maybe add another angle. In this case, it's quite a good example that nowadays all the innovations in the fintech, they come in from the crossroad. By having quite big abilities as a political power, I think applying for the U.S. state bank and for them allowing to issue own crypto coins, it shows that a lot of innovations come in by combining two different worlds, blockchain and the usual fiat. It proves that the movements that we have seen last year, they also following this path. Lots of crypto brokerage and crypto companies, they seeking to get the fiat approval for the licenses and be compliant from this side. But another way, they continue to innovate by providing fresh as a technology financial instruments to the customers or to the businesses. So let's keep an eye on that.
Yeah, totally. American crypto market and American financial market is influencing a lot worldwide operations and worldwide financial market. By sure, we'll have some stresses and some shakes on the market when the final decisions will be made. But at least we know about them. We are prepared, and I'm sure that European market will react quite positively. And by the way, speaking about European market, is coming the third news where one of the biggest provider on the market, Solaris Bank, announced the change of the management board. For me, it's very important personally because I worked at Solaris some years ago for quite a long time. And current management shift shows that Solaris is still in the process of transformation, like it was 2 years ago and 3 years ago. So the previous CEO, Carsten Holtkenmeer, stepped down from his position, and from as the CEO of the company, he will stay in the board as advisor for some period, giving possibility for a smooth transition to the new CEO of the company. And this new CEO company is coming from a very classical, and not only, by the way, so the new CEO is coming from a German fintech environment, which had experiences in other companies, in other banks, giving them quite a big and absolutely nice pushes and development. The name of the new CEO is Stefan Jentsch. He's a CEO from 1st of January 2026, so basically he's already in place. And it shows that seems like Solaris will take some new decisions in the strategies, because Solaris currently is trying very much to scale up their operations, scale up their number of customers. Plus, they had some issues with BaFin previously, and this will this can be a very good signal for regulatory bodies and for customers and partners. What do you think, Igor, about this?
I feel there is some shakedown in German fintech industry, and especially with the classical banking licenses, because last year we have seen the change of the management and N26. I couldn't say that it's kind of the same approach, but it seems that the local market understands the need to be more efficient and more effective with the implementation of the strategy. So I think that's kind of the same. And I don't have personal experience, but from what I heard, BaFin is pretty strict and pretty straightforward with the regulations and controls. So once again, maybe it gives the possibility those entities and those businesses to be more in alignment with the regulations and recent developments in the financial world.
It's very good signal that the new CEO is coming with one team member from previous company. Also, current chief risk officer is stepping down, and in his place will arrive the person with whom the new CEO already worked. His name is Matthias Henrich. He also worked as chief risk officer in his previous employment history. So he can come together with new CEO and build some good, interesting things there in Solaris Bank. And maybe it's a signal that the issue is not in commercial, the issue is not in the business or in product side. The risk or the issue specifically is in compliance and some risk appetite management, which Solaris Bank has to possibly to solve. Because Solaris Bank was a market reshaper some years ago. It was a truly unique unicorn on the market, and it still has this capacity to change European market. Solaris still can bring a lot of new fintech products and initiatives and ideas right to the customer's door, and to deliver and make of our lives much more easier via different fintech brands and products.
I feel pretty confident that European market has a lot of motivations and drivers for the innovations and better infrastructure. I think last year showed, even with the MiCA, CASP license, DORA, that regulations can be on good for the whole market and the investments and the development of the fintechs and the banking infrastructure. So those are pretty good news from this side of the world. And I think that's it for today. So I would like to thank you, all the visitors and audience who learned today what is going on. And I would like to thank you, Dumitru, for discussing the topics with me today. So thank you for watching. Please follow us on the social networks. Please comment, ask the question. We're always available for anything that you have in mind. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and we should have a nice, absolutely good weekend. Bye-bye.